My beloved child, I am reaching into the very center of your heart right now to pull you out of the shadows that have surrounded you. I see you clearly, even when you feel invisible to the rest of the world, standing in the middle of circumstances that feel like walls closing in from every single direction. I see the invisible weight that has been pressing down on your chest, making it hard to catch your breath, and the persistent anxiety that wakes you in the hollow, quiet hours of the night. I hear the fear that whispers in your ear, telling you that you are trapped and that there is no way out of this cycle. But listen to my voice, for I am your shepherd, and a true shepherd does not leave his sheep tangled in the thorns of life. A shepherd does not turn his back or abandon his flock when they cry out in their deepest distress. Your voice, though it may be a whisper or a broken sob, cuts through the thickest darkness and reaches my ears perfectly. I am coming to rescue you at this very moment, not because you have earned it through your own efforts or because you finally discovered a secret formula for prayer. I am coming simply because you belong to me, and nothing in this world has the power or the authority to keep my child confined in a pit of despair. The situation you are currently facing, the one that feels like a permanent sentence or a final destination, is actually just a temporary stop on your journey. The enemy has tried to convince you that this is just how your life will be from now on, but I am standing at the edge of that pit and I am reaching down with my hand fully extended. All I need you to do is stop trying to climb out on your own and simply take my hand. I know you have exhausted every human option. You have tried to fix the broken pieces yourself, tried to reason your way out, and tried to push through with sheer willpower. You have searched for answers in every corner, made elaborate plans, and watched with a heavy heart as every single one of them crumbled into dust. I have felt the crushing disappointment you experienced when you thought you were finally gaining ground, only to be thrown back to the very place you started. In those moments, you wondered if I was even listening, if I still cared, or if I had forgotten the path you were walking. My child, I see every hidden tear you have shed when you thought no one was looking, and I see the mask you wear to appear brave while your heart is shattering inside. I see the profound exhaustion in your spirit, the kind of weariness that goes much deeper than physical tiredness and settles in your bones. I am telling you right now that the season of fighting this battle by yourself is over. I am taking the lead. I am stepping into the center of your chaos, and I am shifting the atmosphere around you. The chains of bondage are fracturing. The walls of your prison are starting to crumble, and the door that has been locked for so long is finally swinging wide. I am the one who holds the key to your freedom, and I am turning it right now on your behalf because I love you with an everlasting love. You are not stuck, even though every emotion you have tells you that you are. You look at your circumstances and all you can see are the barriers and the impossibilities, but I am asking you to lift your eyes and look at me instead. Look at my nature and my history. Remember that I have split the great seas in half to make a dry path for my people to walk through. I have brought down the strongest walls with nothing more than a shout and a heart of faith. I have turned water into wine, called the dead back to life, and commanded the most violent storms to be still with just a word. The same power that shook the foundations of the earth and broke chains that no human hand could unlock is the same power that is flowing toward you in this very second. I am not limited by the facts of your life, nor am I confused by the complexity of the problems that keep you up at night. I am not intimidated by the size of the giants you are facing. What looks like a mountain to you is a grain of sand to me. What looks like a dead end to your eyes is simply an opportunity for me to reveal a new path that you never could have imagined. As your shepherd, I am responsible for your well-being,
your protection, and your guidance. When a sheep is in danger, a good shepherd doesn't stand at a safe distance shouting instructions. He runs directly into the danger. He places his own body between the sheep and the predator, fighting off the threats and carrying the wounded on his own shoulders. That is my commitment to you. I am not a distant observer of your suffering, but an active participant in your rescue. I am covering you with my shield, and though the enemy has been circling your life looking for a gap, he has to face me first. I am filtering every single thing that enters your life, ensuring that even the difficult things are used to refine you and prepare you for the glory that is coming. You have been in this valley for a long time, and I know the days have felt like an endless march through the shadows. You have questioned if you would ever see the sun again, or if this was the end of your story.
But I am declaring to you today that this valley season is reaching its conclusion. It is ending, not because you gave up or lowered your standards, but because I am personally lifting you out. I am taking you by the hand and leading you to a higher ground that you have never walked upon before. The place I am bringing you to is not just a return to your old life. It is a place of vastly greater strength and deeper intimacy with me. This trial was never meant to destroy your soul. It was designed to develop your character and strip away the distractions that were holding you back. Now that the work of the fire is complete and you have been refined, I am opening the gate for you to move forward. Do not be afraid of the road ahead, and do not let the fear of the unknown keep you paralyzed in this finished chapter. While the future may look uncertain to your eyes, you know the one who holds the future in his hands. You know that I am faithful to my word, and that I have never once failed a promise I made to you. Step forward in faith, trusting me to be your provider, your warrior, and your constant companion. I am not asking you to have all the answers or to figure out every minute detail of the journey ahead. I am only asking you to follow me one simple step at a time, trusting that as you move, doors will open that you didn't even know existed. You will see provision manifest from the most unexpected places, leaving you speechless and reminded that I am God. The blessing you have been crying out for is finally in motion. I heard every prayer and saw every tear you shed in the waiting room. I wasn't saying no to you, I was saying not yet, because I was preparing you to handle the weight of what I am about to give. If I had given it to you sooner, you might not have had the maturity to steward it or the character to keep it. But now, through the fire and the rain, you have grown in ways you cannot yet see. You are ready to receive this blessing in a way that draws you closer to me rather than distracting you from me. I am about to release a flood of favor into your life, opening the windows of heaven until your heart overflows. Opportunities are coming, health is being restored, and relationships that were shattered are being carefully mended. Hope is rising again in your heart like a new dawn, and the season of lack is being swallowed up by a season of abundance. When the evidence of my faithfulness becomes visible in your life, I want you to look back at this moment and remember where you were. Remember the desperation and the nights of weeping so that you never forget it was my grace that brought you through. Walk in humility and gratitude, knowing that every good thing is a gift from my hand. I am teaching you that my timing is perfect, even when it feels slow or confusing to your human heart. Every moment you spent in the waiting room was building a patience and a dependence on me that will be your greatest asset in the future. You are not the same person you were at the start of this year. You have been shaped into a vessel that can carry the glory I am about to pour out. Right now, in the spiritual realm, I am rearranging the stars in your favor and removing every obstacle that was meant to trip you up. I am silencing the lying voices that told you that you were unworthy or forgotten. I am surrounding you with my presence, ensuring you know that you have never truly been alone. Even in those moments of absolute isolation, I was closer to you than your very breath. I was the one holding you together when you felt like you were splintering into 1,000 pieces. I am committed to your destiny, and my plans for you are larger than your mind can currently conceive. This is your moment of transition, the point where the tide finally turns in your favor. Do not lose heart now, for the seeds you have sown in tears are about to produce a harvest of immense joy. I want you to prepare your heart for this new move by clearing out any lingering bitterness or resentment. Let go of the old pain and the people who disappointed you so that you have empty hands to receive the new things I am doing. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the next door. It is the way you break free from the prison of the past. When you forgive, you aren't saying the hurt didn't matter. You are saying that you trust me to be your vindicator and your judge. You are choosing freedom over the poison of a grudge. I am calling you to a higher standard of love, to bless those who didn't bless you, and to pray for those who caused you pain. This isn't easy, but it is the way of my kingdom, and it reflects my heart to a world that is starving for grace. I will honor your obedience, and those who dismissed you will eventually see the anointing that I have placed upon your life. You will receive them with compassion, because you will finally understand that their actions were a reflection of their own brokenness, not your worth. You are moving into a life of peace that is not dependent on the news or the weather, but on me.
This life of intimacy is not something you can manufacture through your own willpower. It only comes from sitting with me in the quiet. I am inviting you to come and rest, to listen to the rhythm of my heart, and to let my spirit fill your empty places. I want to give you more than just a breakthrough. I want to give you myself as your ultimate prize. When you have me, you have an unlimited supply of everything you need for the journey ahead. Protect this time we spend together, for it is the source of your strength and the wellspring of your wisdom. In my presence, the problems that seemed like giants will begin to look like grasshoppers. The fears that paralyzed you will lose their grip, and the shame that told you that you didn't deserve good things will be silenced by my truth. I am calling you into the fullness of your purpose, and the only thing I require is your willingness to trust my lead. This is your moment of decision. Will you keep listening to the lies of the enemy, or will you take my hand and walk into the light? I will not force you, but I am standing here with an open heart, waiting for your yes. If you follow me, you will see wonders that will leave you in awe of my goodness. Your story is far from over. In fact, the most beautiful chapters are just beginning to be written. I am proud of your persistence and the way you keep showing up, even when you feel like you're falling apart. That kind of faith moves my heart and opens the windows of heaven over your life. You are engraved on the palms of my hands, and I am working on every detail of your future with precision and love. Trust my methods and trust my timing, for I am your good shepherd, and I lead my sheep to green pastures. I am rebuilding the ruins of your life and turning your mourning into a dance of victory. Everything you have endured has been part of a grand design to make you more like me. What is coming next will exceed your expectations and blow your mind with its beauty. Rise up, my child, with courage and confidence, knowing that I am with you always, even until the very end of the age. My beloved child, there is no force in all of existence, neither in the heights above nor in the depths below, that can ever tear you away from my embrace. I want you to let that truth settle into the very marrow of your bones and the deepest recesses of your soul. Breathe it in until it transforms the way you look at yourself in the mirror and the way you perceive the giants standing in your path. When you truly grasp that you are cherished, that you belong to me, and that I am standing right beside you, the chaos of the world begins to fade into mere background noise. The harsh judgments of others lose their sting, and the deceptive whispers of the enemy are silenced by the roar of my love for you. Your circumstances, no matter how daunting they appear, lose their ability to paralyze you, because you finally know whose you are. You are stepping out of the shadows of that old season and crossing the threshold into a brand new day. And I promise you, it is going to be magnificent, better than your most vivid dreams and exceeding every expectation you've ever held. I am the divine architect of this shift. I am the one unlatching the heavy gates and clearing the debris from your path. When I move on behalf of my children, I do not do things halfway or with a hesitant hand. I don't just crack the door, I throw it wide open so that my glory can flood your life. I am releasing a deluge of favor and a multiplication of every resource you need, doing infinitely more than you could ever think to ask for. This is my nature, to be the God of the more than enough. So I ask you now to align your heart with mine and surrender your blueprints for the masterpiece I am painting. Trust the rhythm of my timing and follow the sound of my voice through the mist. Watch closely as I turn your mourning into a song and your ashes into a crown of beauty. Watch as I lift you from the floor of the valley to the peak of the mountain, transforming your reality in ways that defy human logic. This is your moment of transition, and I don't want you to let fear or doubt talk you out of your destiny. Even as these words vibrate in your spirit, things are shifting in the unseen realm. The tide is turning in your favor. You are entering the fullness of every promise I have whispered to you in the dark. When I call myself your shepherd, I want you to understand the weight of that commitment. It isn't just a comforting thought, it is a practical reality. I know you by name, and I recognize the unique frequency of your voice even in the loudest storm.
I know the dreams you've buried because the world called them foolish, and I know the wounds that still throb from years ago. I see it all, and my love for you remains unshakable and unconditional. You cannot earn more of it by being perfect, and you cannot lose it by stumbling. I am not a distant observer. I am intimately involved in the minute details of your day-to-day existence. Right now, I am orchestrating encounters with people you haven't even met yet, arranging blessings that will seem like coincidences but are actually divine appointments. I am closing doors that would have led you into a trap and opening ones that lead to your flourishing. I am healing the fractures in your heart and mending the relationships you thought were lost forever. I do this because you are mine, and a shepherd does not stand by while his sheep struggle. I am an active participant in your rescue, not a passive bystander. You felt overwhelmed because you've been trying to carry the weight of the world on your own shoulders, but that weight was never meant for you. Stop asking why this happened and start trusting who is in control of the outcome. When you focus on my character instead of your confusion, your faith will begin to rise like the morning sun. I am the God who parts the seas and speaks light into the darkness, and all of my power is available to you because I have claimed you as my own. The enemy's lies about you being alone are being dismantled right now. Help is not just on the way, it is already present in this room with you. I want you to talk to me with total transparency. No masks, no religious formulas, and no pretense. I want the messy, honest truth of how you feel, because intimacy is built on vulnerability. Come to me with your doubts, your anger, and your smallest needs. I am big enough to handle all of it.
Prayer is simply our conversation, a bridge between your heart and mine. I am even working in the lives of those you love, pursuing them with a relentless grace that will eventually bring them home. Do not give up on your family or your health, for I am the source of all restoration. Whether healing comes through a miracle or a process, I am the one sustaining you through every step. Your finances, too, are under my gaze. I am ending the season of lack and bringing you into a space of abundance. When the world sees you rise, let your humility point them back to me so they can find the same hope you have found. You are a masterpiece in progress, not a failure in hiding. Start speaking life over yourself today. Replace "I can't" with "I can" through Christ. Stop agreeing with the accuser and start agreeing with the Creator. You are entering a season that requires boldness and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. I am with you in every stumble and every victory, working all things together for your ultimate good. You have been faithful in the small, quiet tests, and now I am moving you into the light of your true calling. Step through the doors I am opening, even if your knees are shaking. I will bring the right mentors and friends into your life to walk beside you, and the ones who aren't meant for this season will simply drift away. Your story is unique, and there is an assignment on your life that no one else can fulfill. I am your shepherd, I am your father, and I am your greatest advocate. Believe in the new thing I am doing, for it is already springing forth. I am filling every empty space in your life with my provision and my peace. You are loved, you are chosen, and you are destined for greatness. Take my hand, child, and let's walk into this promise together. Your breakthrough is here, and your future is more brilliant than you can imagine. My child, lean in closer and let my words wrap around you like a warm blanket in the dead of winter. We are not in a hurry today, for time is a canvas I created, and right now I want to paint a picture of peace over your restless mind. I want to talk to you about the quiet strength that is growing inside of you, even when you feel like you are barely holding on by a thread. You often measure your progress by the mountains you climb, but I measure it by the way you continue to trust me when the path is completely shrouded in mist. I see the way you look at the world and feel so small, so insignificant amidst the noise of billions of voices. But to me, your heart sounds like a symphony that stands out above all the clamor of the universe. I was there when you took your first breath, and I will be there when the stars fade away. I want to talk to you about the beauty of your hidden years, those seasons where you felt forgotten, where you felt like you were working in a vacuum with no one to applaud your efforts. Those were not wasted years. They were the years where I was strengthening your roots so that when the harvest comes, you will not be toppled by the wind.
Think of the seed buried in the cold, dark earth. It feels abandoned. It feels like it has been buried alive. But in that darkness, the shell is breaking so that the life inside can finally reach for the light. You are in a season of breaking, yes, but it is a breaking toward life, not a breaking toward destruction. I am stripping away the layers of who the world said you should be, so that the who I created you to be can finally breathe. I am teaching you that your value is not in your productivity, but in your presence, in the simple fact that you are my child. I want to comfort you concerning the mistakes of your youth and the regrets that still shadow your thoughts. You carry them like heavy stones in your pockets, thinking they keep you grounded, but they only serve to tire you out. My grace is not a thin veil that barely covers your flaws. It is a flood that washes them away completely, leaving the shore of your soul clean and new.
When I look at you, I do not see the version of you that failed. I see the version of you that is being made whole. I see the kindness you showed when you thought no one was watching, and the prayers you whispered for others while your own heart was breaking. Let's talk about the dreams that you think have died. In my kingdom, nothing truly dies. It only sleeps until the right season for resurrection. Some of the dreams you lost were actually seeds of a much greater forest that I am planting in your life. You wanted a single flower, but I am preparing a garden. You wanted a quick solution, but I am building a legacy. I want you to trust my no as much as you trust my yes, for my no is often a shield protecting you from a path that would have led to your undoing. I see your concern for the future of your children and your children's children. You worry about the world they are growing up in, but remember that I am the God of all generations. My hand is over them just as it is over you. I am the one who will meet them in their own valleys and call them by their names. You are not their savior, I am. You are simply the vessel through which I pour my love into their lives. Release the burden of their destiny into my capable hands and watch how I work in their hearts in ways your words never could. I am also touching the areas of your physical body that have been under attack. I am the great physician, and I understand the intricate details of every cell, every nerve, and every bone. I feel the pain you feel, for I am a God who suffers with my people. I am breathing fresh life into your lungs and steadying the rhythm of your heart. Whether healing comes through the wisdom I gave to doctors or through a touch of my spirit, it is all from me. I am your sustainer, and I will give you the energy you need for the tasks I have set before you today. I want to speak to the loneliness that sometimes settles over you, even when you are in a room full of people. That longing for connection is a hunger for me, for I am the only one who truly knows the depths of your being. I am the friend who sticks closer than a brother, the companion who never grows tired of your stories, and the listener who never judges your honesty. You are never truly alone, for my spirit dwells within you, a constant source of comfort and a steady anchor in the storm. I am filling the empty chairs in your life with my presence, and I am bringing new, healthy relationships into your path that will nourish your soul. The world tells you that you must be loud to be heard, but I tell you that the still, small voice carries the most power. I am teaching you the art of the quiet life, a life of deep peace and focused purpose. Do not be distracted by the frantic pace of those around you. You are running a different race, a race set to the tempo of grace. I am removing the pressure to perform and replacing it with the freedom to simply be. You are enough, right now, in this moment, without one more accomplishment to your name. I am pulling you out of the cycles of generational pain that have plagued your family for years. The acts of activity, the habits of anger, and the clouds of depression stop with you. I have called you to be a cycle breaker, a light bearer in a lineage that has known much darkness. It is not by your strength that these chains are broken, but by the power of my Spirit. You are the first of a new kind, and the blessings I pour into you will flow down through the branches of your family tree for 1,000 generations. Rest your mind, my child. You do not have to solve the problems of tomorrow today. I have already been to your tomorrow, and I have prepared the way. I have already provided the grace you will need when you get there. Today, your only job is to walk with me. Let's enjoy this moment together, here in the secret place of my presence. I love you with a love that has no end, a love that is deeper than the ocean and wider than the sky.
I am your shepherd, and I will never, ever let you go. I am holding your hand through the fire, and I am singing over you in the night. You are my treasure, my delight, and my beloved. Everything is going to be all right, for I am God, and I am for you. My child, let us stay here in this stillness, for I have so much more to whisper to your spirit. We are not bound by the rushing of the world outside, and I want to spend this hour deepening the foundations of your heart so that nothing can ever shake you again. You often feel as though you are falling behind, as if there is a pace you cannot keep. But I want you to understand that in my kingdom, the last are first, and the slow are often the ones who see the most beauty. I am not looking for your speed, I am looking for your heartbeat, synced perfectly with mine in this sacred space of rest. I want to speak to the deep-seated fear you have of being found out, that nagging thought that if people truly knew your weaknesses, they would turn away. I want you to know that I know the very worst things about you, the thoughts that make you blush in the dark, and yet I have never loved you more than I do in this very second. My love is not a reward for your goodness, it is a response to your existence. I see the parts of you that you consider ugly or unusable, and I see them as the very places where my light will shine the brightest. I am a God who loves to take what the world discards and make it the cornerstone of something magnificent. Let us talk about the concept of home. You have spent so much of your life feeling like an outsider, looking through the windows at a joy you thought was reserved for others. But I have built a mansion in my heart specifically for you, with a room that fits your soul perfectly. You don't have to knock, the door is already off its hinges. I am your home, your sanctuary, and your resting place. When the world is too loud and the demands are too heavy, you can always retreat into the fortress of my presence, where the enemy cannot follow and the arrows of judgment cannot reach. I see your hands, tired from all the striving, and I am asking you to open them and let go of the control you've been gripping so tightly. You think that if you let go, everything will fall apart, but I am the one who holds the universe together by the word of my power. If I can hold the stars in their orbits, I can certainly hold your life in its proper place. Trusting me is not a passive thing. It is the most courageous action you can take. It is the act of stepping off the ledge of your own understanding and landing in the safety of my sovereignty. I am teaching you how to walk on water, but you must first be willing to step out of the boat of your own security. I want to comfort you regarding the lost opportunities that keep you awake with regret. You think of the paths you didn't take, the words you didn't say, and the doors you missed. But I am the God of the second chance, and the third chance, and the 1,000th chance. I can weave your mistakes into a tapestry that looks even more beautiful than the original design. Nothing is truly lost in my hands. I can redeem the time, and I can bring a harvest from ground you thought was permanently barren. Your story is not a straight line of perfection. It is a masterpiece of grace, where every smudge and every tear is used to add depth and color to the final portrait. Let us speak about the silence. I know it frightens you sometimes when you pray and it feels like I am not answering, but I want you to know that my silence is not my absence. Sometimes I am silent because I am working behind the curtain, setting the stage for a revelation that will change everything.
Sometimes I am simply enjoying being with you, the way two old friends can sit in a room for hours without saying a word, perfectly content in each other's company. Do not mistake the quiet for distance. I am leaning in so close that my breath is on your cheek. I am touching your mind right now, smoothing out the tangled thoughts of what if and if only. I am replacing the spirit of heaviness with a garment of praise. I want you to learn to laugh again, not the hollow laugh of the world, but the deep, belly-shaking joy of someone who knows they are safe. I am the God of humor, the God of play, and the God of delight. I didn't create the world in shades of gray. I created it in a riot of colors and sounds to show you how much I love to celebrate. I want you to find the small wonders today, the way the light hits a leaf, the sound of a distant bird, the feeling of the air on your skin. I see the worry you have about your reputation and what people are saying behind your back. Child, their opinions are like chaff in the wind. They have no substance and no staying power. I am the only one whose opinion of you truly matters, and I have already declared that you are very good. I have crowned you with glory and honor, and I have clothed you in the righteousness of my Son. When people try to tear you down, remember that they are only projecting their own brokenness. Pray for them, but do not let their words take root in the garden of your heart.